Violet Garland enjoyed the bustle and busyness of the season, the evenings at Vauxhall, the routs and soirees, the performances at the opera and the theatre, the balloon ascensions and the picnics, the multitude of entertainments that London had to offer. Two of the pastimes she particularly enjoyed were dancing and flirting. She was dancing now, performing a reel with a rather dashing Duke's grandson. They went through the figures energetically, enjoyed an extravagant flirtation, and parted ways, happy in the knowledge that they didn't wish to marry one another. The Duke's grandson preferred wealthy young widows, and while he was rather dashing, Violet wanted someone even more dashing. Someone with an adventurous spirit. Someone who liked to ride fast, and dance fast, and live fast. Someone exciting. Someone quite unlike the gentleman standing in the nearest corner, who was so nondescript as to be almost invisible. Violet eyed him while she sipped a glass of orgeat. The man was blandness personified, everything about him unremarkable, from his brown hair to his navy-blue tailcoat to the tips of his black shoes. It wasn't that he was unattractive, more that he was profoundly uninteresting to the eye. If he wished to catch an heiress, he needed to exert himself rather more. But it appeared that the bland man had no wish to catch an heiress. Violet glimpsed him several times during the course of the evening, and each time he was standing in a corner, observing the other guests, as unexciting as a piece of furniture. Violet danced and flirted with an earl's son, a marquis's son, 2 fortune hunters, and a rather rakish viscount. Her dashing and adventurous husband-to-be would stroll into a ballroom one evening, she was certain of it, but tonight wasn't the night. She danced one more set and left the ball early, along with her brother Rhodes and her younger sister Asta. Rhodes left early, because he didn't much care for balls, now that he was a widower. Asta left early because she liked peace and quiet more than she liked noise and crowds. But Violet left early because as much as she enjoyed dancing and flirting, there was something she enjoyed doing far more. Something secret and thrilling that she could only do in the dead of night. Accordingly, she allowed her maid to remove the delicate ball gown, with its pretty silk rosebuds and its spangled gauze. The pearl necklace and matching earbobs went back in their case. Her hair was unpinned, brushed out, and plaited in a tidy braid. Violet climbed into bed, and once the maid had gone, she climbed out again and latched her door. She danced across to her dresser and unlocked the bottom drawer. The clothes Rhodes had bought for her lay folded there. Long pantaloons, 6 shirts, neckcloths, a snug coat, a pair of sturdy shoes. Everything was black, even the neckcloths. Violet dressed quickly. Shirt, stockings, pantaloons, shoes. The coat had a clever little pocket, into which Rhodes had tucked a house key and a penknife. Just in case, he'd said, but there'd never yet been a just in case. Violet wrapped one of the unstarched neckcloths around her throat like a muffler, tucked the ends down the front of the coat, and put on the mask she'd sewn. It wasn't the sort of mask one wore to a masquerade. It was the sort of mask a hangman wore, covering her face completely. She tied the mask tightly so it couldn't blow off, wiggled her fingers into a pair of black kidskin gloves, and examined herself in the mirror. Not one scrap of pale skin showed. As well as men's clothes, Rhodes had bought her a dark lantern. Violet lit it and set it on the hearth, adjusting the metal shades so that only the merest glimmer of light showed. Then she blew out her candles. Her bedroom became almost, but not quite, pitch black. She parted her curtains, opened her window, and climbed up onto the broad sill, high above the ground. At her back was her bedchamber, quiet and safe. In front of her was adventure.